Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, I am Will, and I'm here today to talk to you about the nursing as a career for my Communications 101 course. How would you like to have a job where you have 4 days off every single week, working anywhere in the country, working with a variety of clientele, all while doing something you love and making a good wage? Nursing could be that career choice for you. Nursing is where the rubber meets the road in the healthcare system. Nurses are at the bedside with the patients, seeing the changes, reporting them back to the doctors, making those treatment plans, and truly providing the care for our loved ones. Nurses are the hands and feet of Jesus' work in the healthcare system. I've been a nurse for 2 years now. Before I was a nurse, I was a paramedic. When I took the leap of faith to go forward and go back to school for nursing, it's one of the best career choices I've ever made for myself and for my family. It's extremely rewarding and just a great career overall. If you want to work in a high demand job field, have a servant's heart, and wish to honor God in all things that you do, nursing may be the best career choice for you. Nursing promotes relationships with many different stakeholders. And as a nurse, you will work with lots of different patients and families. Over the next few minutes, I'd like to talk to you about 3 main points of nursing. The first step is nurses can work anywhere and with anyone. The second point I'd like to talk about is the nursing process. The third point is we're going to talk about a tool that nurses use to communicate. So let's get back to working with anyone and anywhere. As a nurse, you can work in an inpatient setting. That could be your hospitals, acute care, all the way down to your floor and step down rehab units. You can work in an outpatient setting. That would be your same day surgeries, your primary care, going to your doctor's office, things along that line. You can be an educator. You can work for Liberty University as a nursing educator. You can work in an inpatient or outpatient setting educating fellow nurses. You can work as an educator educating families about chronic disease processes. You can work in the community health setting. You can be a school nurse. You can be a public health nurse. You can work as a flight nurse, doing scene calls and interfacility transports. You can even work as a travel nurse, going all across the U.S. in high demand areas. In addition to working in all these different environments, you can also work with a variety of patients. You can work with the neonatal patient all the way up to your geriatric patient. Each set of clientele of patients has a specific genre or niche that the nurse must satisfy. It can be a school-age child, it can be your high schooler, it can be your psychiatric patients, it can be your palliative care patients. Nursing has a job for anyone, anywhere. No matter where we work or who we work with, we are working with our brothers and our sisters in the job field, and Jesus loves everyone. We must provide compassionate care to each and every patient. 1 Peter 4:18 says, above all, love each other deeply because love covers over a multitude of sins. The second thing I'd like to talk about is the nursing process. The nursing process is what nurses use to address different issues that we face. One of the systematic approaches we use is called ADPI. Through ADPI, we have an assessment, a diagnosis, planning, implementation, and evaluation. Let's start with assessment. With the assessment, we collect the data. We must have the facts of what's going on. Once we have all of this data, we identify the problem, our diagnosis. Once we've identified our problem through our diagnosis, we will implement our planning stage. What steps are we going to take to address the problem that we've identified? The plan that we make must be systematic. It needs to be a step-by-step process that we can follow and carry through. Once we make that plan, we implement that plan. Implementation. Rubber meeting the road, you guys, going back to the very beginning. We have to have a plan that we can implement. Once we implement that plan and carry it through, we have to evaluate the plan. Did it work? If our plan worked, we can take that same plan and for someone with the same diagnosis, apply that plan to and just carry on through. ADPI. Assessment, diagnosis, planning, implementation, evaluation. The nursing process. So, just like we have a very set way to follow the nursing process, we also have a tool to help us with nursing communication. This is called our S-bar. With our S-bar, it's our situation, background, assessment, and recommendation. With this, we identify our situation and we use this tool to have clear and concise communication. We would talk about our situation, identify it, this is what happened. Background, this is how we got to this point. Assessment, this is what I'm seeing and this is what the situation that we are dealing with is. And our recommendation. After reviewing this data, this is what I think we should do. This is the next step. I think we should put the patient on oxygen because of increased work of breathing, whatever it is. At the end of the day, this is just one more tool that nurses use to help communicate, S-bar. As you can see, there are many opportunities for nursing that closely align to allow us to meet the spiritual, emotional, and physical needs of our patients. We can work with anyone, anywhere. We have a systematic approach to the nursing process through ADPI. And we also have a systematic tool for communication, S-bar. Nursing is one of the few careers that you are truly on the front lines, everything from new life beginning to holding that patient as they pass through to heaven. Nurses make a difference each and every day they go to work. Nursing is one of the few career fields that is extremely dynamic and requires us to have a systematic approach to communication, to care, and allows us to provide care to all of God's people. Thank you for listening today.